Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, March the 19th, presented by Mercury. We're going to connect with Josh Herron, Tom Ott, and Lee Pitts here in just a minute. And hopefully those guys will help you put a few more fish in your boat on your favorite body of water. We'll be right back with what the guys have to say. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, March the 19th, presented by Mercury. It's time for us to connect with our good friend Lee Pitts, who spent last week freezing on Smith Lake, but I know he's back out there on Weiss Lake chasing them crappie, and he's thinking about Neely Henry. Tell us what's going on Weiss Lake right now.
Well, I'll tell you right now, things are, they're a little slow. We're still seeing a lot of fish, but we just can't get them to bite. I think the weather situation, again, has been kind of tough on us. The fish are getting where they're supposed to be. They're in the main creeks and some of the bigger tributaries that come into the water, to the lake. But it's seeing fish. I think some of the traffic that's getting on them is slowing them down a little bit. But, man, they sure are finicky right now. Just trying to put a bait in front of them. My key colors, again, have been that blue chartreuse, also a black and chartreuse, and a little bit of Cajun cricket this week. It's kind of coming on, and it's just a slow, tough bite, and you just got to beat them on the head with it.
What about the bass at Weiss Lake? What are you seeing out of the bass?
These guys are still catching bass shallow. They've already made their move, and they're getting up. The weather hadn't been quite as a factor with the bass, like it is. These guys are still there square billing. I know a lot of guys are getting up there flipping that jig. I think a black and blue, some kind of brown jig is good, sweet. But the bass are really biting up here. They're catching a lot of largemouth right now. The spotted bass are still out there on your gravel points and some of your deeper drops. But these guys are getting up around these docks, rock, and some wood cover and really, really beating on those largemouth right now.
What about Neely Henry? What are we seeing out of the bass bite at Neely Henry?
The bass bite is picked up at Neely. These guys, too, the water's slowed down a little bit. The weather's trying to cooperate with us some. So they're catching a lot of fish, catch them on chatterbait, spinnerbait, and also with that square bill. The square bill bite down there has been pretty good this week.
How about the crappie? Are they still kind of out there on those main river ledges and stuff?
Yeah. Once again, the major creeks, they're still just kind of holding out there. These fish, most of the time, are already getting in shallower water, getting on some of this brush and some of the stumps, but they're still just kind of suspended out there, following the bait, eating, just still stayed schooled up and just hanging out there in that deeper water. So hopefully, like I said, with the weather getting more stable and things looking better, these fish will start busting up a little bit and start to get on some of this structure. But right now, that long lining seems to be the key to Weiss and Neely Henry. Everybody's out there pulling these Bobby Garland jigs. The fish are moving so much, it's hard to just sit still on them. You just got to roll with it and just try to put that bait in front of them.
Thank you, Lee. As always, we appreciate it, and we will talk to you again next week. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, March the 19th, presented by Mercury. Time for us to head on up to Guntersville and connect with Tom Ott. Tom, I know it's been cold, but you've been getting out there a little bit. Tell us what's going on that big body of water up in the sky.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dano, for the working man and a guy that fishes mostly on the weekends, you'd think Mother Nature's got a little vendetta against us right now. But, the fish aren't really complaining that much. The bite's a little slow in the morning. I mean, there's some bite windows, but it seems like the bite's really slow in the morning. But as the afternoon picks up, so does the bite. I think the worst thing right now that we're seeing is just the floating eelgrass. It's next level atrocious. I mean, it's unbelievable. But it does lend itself to, fishing some different areas, trying some different baits. The fish have really made a good solid push, at least a good wave has. We just came through a full moon, so the fish have really made a good push up to the shallow waters. And just keep in mind, shallow doesn't always mean against the bank with trees too. So, just a little tip on Guntersville. But, dragon baits, your missile D-bombs, your, sweet beavers, those kind of things are really producing right now. Jigs are also a hot item. I like a little lighter jig, maybe a 1/4 ounce, kind of swim it a little bit. But fish are really starting to chew, and it's just going to get better from here. but it is hit and miss. I mean, some days you're really on them. If you're changing locations a lot and looking for fish, you're going to have that. It's just going to be part of it. But man, it's getting good out there for sure. You don't need the luck of the Irish. That's it.
So what areas of the lake do you want to be targeting right now? Is it kind of everywhere, or is there specific sections that might be better?
Well, I mean, anybody that knows me know I really like the midsection of the lake. The upper end really starts on early in the year. The lower end starts picking up, as far as spring goes, towards the April and May timeframe, or at least for me. So the mid lake section is what I really like. I like these big bays. There's some huge spawning coves out in front of these coves. There's tons of grass. There's good places to stage. And, we're just talking in depths anywhere between 6 to 0 inches of water, really. Those fish are all in that area, but you just got to use your head. I mean, they're definitely moving into spawning areas. They're staging up. They're in groups. It's a great time for Guntersville, as evident by all the boats that are out there.
Well, man, we appreciate everything. Thanks for the time that you spend with us, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right, Dano, we look forward to it. Tight lines out there, guys.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, March the 19th, presented by Mercury. It's time for us to connect with Josh Herron and talk about Logan Martin and Lay Lake. Josh, what's heading on down there on that end of the Coosa River?
Mud and logs, man. I think Mother Nature hates us, to be honest. Either that or she's got a hell of a sense of humor. If we keep going from everything looks great to apocalypse now kind of scenarios and lots of water. So, right now the dams are, I think Logan's spilling at like 31,000 through the turbines, 8,000 over the gates. And I think Lay's like 28, 30,000 and 13,000 over the gates. Which means lots of mud, lots of logs, lots of water. Yeah, with current and warming water, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I mean it's going to set these fish up for really kind of reaction style baits, spinner baits, chatter baits, traps. Is going to be your main deal right now. Anywhere that these fish can kind of push up on an eddy seam and really position to feed, they want to go shallow anyway. I mean they want to get up there, they want to do their deal. And this just happens to be a prime opportunity for them to kind of feed up before it. So spotted bass are probably going to be the name of the game right now. I don't predict largemouth to be super, super strong, especially with water being sucked out of the bottom end. But there's still a possibility of catching a few largemouth shallow, especially in the afternoons. Dirty water warms faster.
So are you looking at trying to stay just inside the pockets? Are you looking at main lake stuff? Or do you want to start heading towards the creeks now?
Your main thing you want to look for right now is just prime areas for them to fit position. So any of these places right on the outside of these creek miles where these fish are going, that you can actually get out of this current just a little bit. Those shallow bars are going to be great right now. And like I said, square bills, chatterbaits, spinner baits, traps are going to be your spotted bass things. And right now, swim jigs and, flipping any shallow mats that you can find in the afternoons are going to be your largemouth deals, especially on the lake.
Well, Josh, man, as always, we appreciate everything. Thank you for all your expertise and your willingness to help, and we will talk to you again next week.
Thanks, man.
Well, that'll do it for our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, March the 19th, presented by Mercury. Thanks to everybody that came out to Fish Fest. We enjoyed the time, and we appreciate your participation. Don't forget, we've always got what you need here at Bucks Island. See us in the loft, in parts, in service, or if you're looking for a boat, see Katie, Melissa, and Patrick right there in the showroom. We will talk to you soon and see you again next week.